I recognize the member for Oshawa.
Thank you, Speaker. And I'm happy to add a couple of comments in response to the speech made by the member from Aurora Oak Ridges, Richmond Hill. One of the things that that kind of twigged for me was when he was talking about that it's an aim of this government to modernize and digitize and talking about wanting to get to better outcomes. So when I look to our classrooms in our schools and I look at public education and I think of the conversations we've been having in this space, but people are having across the communities about e-learning and mandatory e-learning, and that is not, we're not looking at better outcomes there. The government's looking at saving a couple bucks, right? And so if you're really looking at better outcomes, then show us where that is any kind of advancement. Like, we've asked for it in committee, we've asked for it in this House. Prove it, because we know that it isn't what's in the best interest of our students who are struggling, and it isn't in the best interest of those kids that, when this government talks about that strong future of good jobs, we're literally cutting kids out of that pathway. So students in our schools, Speaker, who can't have access to, if it's trades courses or the different programs in the classrooms that they can't have because there would be fewer teachers and they can't offer it, and the class sizes is creating a mess. If we're not giving them those courses, how on earth are we giving them then the pathway that those courses would lead them to? So many of our children who don't choose sort of that academic pathway and who choose that hands-on trades pathway, we should be ensuring that those classes are there, but more often than not, those are the courses that are getting cut because they tend to be lower numbers, either because fewer folks wanting to be enrolled or for safety's sake that they're smaller courses. So that balance, you know, of big class sizes, smaller class sizes means they can't have that class at all. So good job. Thanks.
Questions and comments? The member for Chatham-Kent Leamington.
Very much, Madam Speaker. I'm pleased to stand this afternoon and to address make some comments with regards to the fall economic statement. You know, it's interesting. I've been sitting here all afternoon and for weeks. You know, you hear the opposition, and all they seem to do is they want to rail on everything that this government is doing. You know, I kind of look at it and say, you know, they're very adept at picking out the fly specks and pepper and bringing it forward. They need to change their tone as well.